welcome back to Inferno Online and welcome back to the ESL Nordic Finals 2015. Now we have just finished all the first group stage matches, and we're going into the winner games. First off, we have Recent Gaming versus ROCCAT. Recent Gaming who won versus BX3 16-12, and ROCCAT who won over the Swedish team 16-10. What are your predictions of this game?
I think that ROCCAT is going to be winning. I'm going to put it just short.
Just like that?
Yep.
Yeah? ROCCAT's going to be winning?
I think so.
Even though Recent Gaming showed some... I mean, they played very good and very solid, I would say, on their first game, 16-12. But you hold the ROCCAT as favorites.
Yeah, I think they were better in their game they played. I don't think Recent was convincing. But then again, you know, it is Mirage, and it feels like it's been years since I've seen Recent on any other map. I even saw them in the qualifier; they were still on Mirage. So I'm hoping to see something new. But I'm predicting a win for ROCCAT.
Yeah, you heard Nada say it. It's Mirage yet again, my friends. But even though there's no rotation on the maps, we do rotate here in the studio. So now we have new analysts and a new caster team. But first off, Ross, Mirage, Recent Gaming versus ROCCAT.
Yeah, I've been told I must disagree with my voting here.
Interesting.
So yeah, we kind of go with the Recent Gaming. I mean, they've been played really good, even they lost. Tobacco on Insta, they played really well, and I think they're gonna shine for this match.
Interesting. So we have a little disagreement in the analyst desk, but
in the best of the ways.
In the best of the ways, yeah. But how does it sound in by the casters? We're gonna ask. We're gonna see with Walty.
My predictions, I don't know. Like I'm really on 50-50 here. I feel like Recent Gaming should be able to take this one home with Larson in their stack, but then again, ROCCAT showed up to the fight. Sizu actually played better than I thought he would for the team, so I'm not sure. What's your prediction?
ROCCAT 100%.
Oh my God, we're disagreeing as well. Yeah.
The love is big between Nato and me, so we have to side.
Yeah. Yeah. I see how it is. Okay, so I don't see. You think the players ready yet?
Yeah, so Mirage again. It's the ESL Mirage Nationals, and we don't have impact on the map veto. So it's the teams that decided, and it seems like the Nordic teams really like it. And we have seen ROCCAT play Dust 2 before, so it's the first for ROCCAT. They might have seen Reason play before, so maybe that even helps them out a little more.
Or maybe that's a reason to why they vetoed the way they did.
Maybe they have found a weakness, yeah.
So we'll see how this goes. ROCCAT with a good one coming up towards B. The bomb was with them, though, so if there was an entry to come up towards B, they'd be ready to get in there. But they decided to back off to this A side, and this is where the decoys on the A side already did its work. And we've got an offensive peek coming up by LG. He's really, really close up. Or what am I saying? Tobacco it is. Or KS it is even. Goes in for the first. Sunny is going to be almost going down, but he still replies with good shots as KS misses out on a couple of shots here and there. Larson with a P2000, all white and blanked out. Juho with a kill, and there you have it, ROCCAT. They get out on this side, 5-on-3 situation, 2-man advantage, and it comes down to Insta and the gang. They need to make sure they can equalize this as soon as possible. Otherwise, this is going to be almost impossible. Netrick and the gang, they go in for these kills from different angles. And, yeah, it sees Standa and Sunny that can work this together. If it ever comes to a point in which why they need a player up towards a balcony overall, they've got him. So Sunny can just play that passively.
Yeah, no way for Tobacco. He realizes that as well and backs away. Saves the armor for the next round. Try again in a few seconds. So ROCCAT win the pissed round on the terror side. Off to a good start. They should be able to convert this, but we have been proven wrong on that one already in today's tournament. So let's see what the CTs are up to.
I like the fact that he's able to save the body armor as well, because then he can buy the helmet for only 350. Making it possible for him to get the deagle and that nade. That's really crucial. If they could deal good damage in the beginning of a round, that's even more opening for them to get a couple of frags. And there you have it. Sizu falls down, and that's an AK lost already. So ROCCAT We're going to be switching over, making sure that the right player gets that AK as soon as possible. And looking at it from this perspective, ROCCAT, what they need to focus on now is trying to get that reply as soon as possible, because this might be crucial if they lose another member. Reason, they're turning around and they're wrapping around the map pretty much just to get as much info as possible. And at this stage in the game, sure, they're smoked off, but they can rely on the fact that, yeah, eventually they're going to be pushing us because they're the T's right. So utilizing that CT side to the absolute maximum. Larson with that deagle inside of CPL is going to be blanked out, and because of that, you know, he gets info of someone being up on middle. ROCCAT decides to back off at that exact time, thinking of the fact that, okay, maybe we fake this now and go towards B. They're thinking, okay, they're up towards middle, but it doesn't work. Reason, they're too quick, and they think of every single thing that might happen here, rotating instantly to this B side. 3-on-5 situation, and I mean, Reason, they're down to a low budget. Sunny, he goes in for one, but that's not enough. He needs to go in for a couple of more frags if he wants this to work out, and there you have it. ROCCAT turning it around back to a 2-on-2 situation. And I don't know about you, Debu. What do you think?
Well, the lack of armor played its role already, and KS goes down too. It is only up to Netric. He's got the USP, and he shouldn't be allowed to get any more frags. Good crossfire by ROCCAT in the end to salvage this round. Sunny with a triple kill, so they were right to give him the AK. It was a little shaky in the middle part as well. They split up quite far, and the CTs could have gotten in with a few frags if they had gone for the peaks, but obviously the man advantage kept them from doing that. Now they are on another save, so it should be the 3-0 turned in. And ROCCAT refused to buy anything on Juho. They still only have pistols on Sunny and Saad, but that shouldn't trouble them too much.
And especially seeing ROCCAT do what they're doing now, I mean, this should just be a carnage for them. They should be able to get into this side quite easily, get that plan as well. But the fact that they don't go with any heavy armory or any heavy weaponry overall on their side is just going their advantage, because in the next upcoming rounds, they'll start building bank off of that. So,
Indeed.
just smart play coming up in the long-term game. We'll see if they can continue with that, or if Reason are going to be blocking them eventually. Tobacco here with a P250. He's in a good position to get an exit or two, but, I mean, Zarde, he's spotting him out, and exposing himself like that is just going to go ROCCAT's way. There you have it, 3-0, just like you mentioned. And, yeah, this is the round that's going to be most interesting. Reason's first really heavy round, where they're going to be coming up with heavier artillery as well. I think that AWP is going to be crucial. We talked about Larson before this game as well. He's had a good impact on this game. He's a good asset as well, moving around a lot with that AWP, being really aggressive. So, yeah, he's already on the other side of CPL, so if he could just get a kill.
Yeah, compared to the earlier game where he didn't contest window,
Yeah.
he definitely changed his game up a little bit, so maybe trying to catch ROCCAT off guard. Saad will catch Insta off guard, making it a 5v4 already. The terrorists have clinched middle control, but not quite completely. They have still Netric in connector, and now he will be... Oh, he won't be taken out by Stondi. Such an easy shot, to be honest. And ROCCAT missing out on that chance to make it a 5v3. Reason will fall back at the more defensive positions, having lost middle control. They don't really have any information to work with anymore, so they just dig in deep and try to get them while they're trying to execute on the site.
Yeah, Larson here with the AWP shooting like crazy. I don't really like the fact that you're shooting through smokes a lot, because here's where Larson, he's already exposed himself by shooting a bullet like that. There's not more bullets coming, so they can't expect it to be a decoy or anything. At this stage in the game, if they smoke that off or Molotov that off, he's got to be forced out into the field. And that's what ROCCAT has to work with. Their utilities definitely against Reason. Now, though, it still works out with the individual play. Larson's down only 2 HP, and this is where the rest of the gang, they just back off, knowing that, okay, there's not much that we can do but go in for this save. And if we do, we still get money for it since we're the CT side. So, they're definitely thinking of the long-term game here as well, and I feel like Reason, they're taking the right decisions here and there. Again, ROCCAT, they're really using their utilities in the end of the rounds as well to get through and into sides, especially the flashbangs being the most crucial ones. And I feel like Reason, they're tabbing out a little bit off of that, because they're not really far into the T side of this map a lot. They're not really going for the further info, at least not on the A side of the map. So if they started doing that, that would be an advantage they could use and exploit as much as possible.
Yeah, they just try to work up their economy first, and then they will have that additional grenade power to use in the later stages of the round. For now, they have to wait and hold their horses a little bit. Only saving the 2 guns will not necessarily allow them to drop anything, so they go for the upgraded pistols And the pressure's on to Larsen and Tobacco to get the kills. Let's see where they are right now. Larsen goes for window, and Tobacco is over at the B bomb site. The terrorists realize that the CT's economy is low, so they take it slow, they wait for the peaks, they wait for the informational play, and it will pay off as well with Stondi opening up the round.
And he's playing that up as well. It's going to be really crucial that he does play this really, really safe. Goes in for another one, and that's the off drop from Larsen. Not allowed to go as offensive as he wanted to right there in Tobacco with the A1S. It would be good if he got this one first kill on Sardi, but not even that. ROCCAT, individually right here, it looks like they're on another level. Netric picks up that AWP, and I mean, main goal here would be for ROCCAT to go in for a quick plant, so there's less time for him to focus on getting this save. But if they want to go for exits, they could do that as well. 5-on-2 situation, though, it's really risky, especially when you've got to not playing the CT side. You gain a lot of money from saving as well. So doesn't really matter what Netric does here as long as he saves that AWP. KS, however, he could be able to go in for a couple of frags on close range if he wants to go offensive.
Yeah, he's just there to be the first guard of his AWP, to feel out if anyone is coming from A, while Netric can focus on his backside. So now he knows that there are people in A, and the terrorists will clinch in on both sides. There is the frag. Stondi with the triple kill. He is keeping it up on his team's favorite side, so to speak. The open play for Stondi. 7 frags so far, going for the reverse James Bond. While KS has to wait 2 more rounds to put it up. 5-0 in favor of ROCCAT on the terrorist side on Mirage. We have seen that scoreline already. And most often it turns out to be the game for the leading team. Reason has to fight back. And what would you do in that situation?
Well, to show you, and I wouldn't say the brute force method is the best way to deal with this, but then again, try to experiment around with the low budget rounds that you've already had. Reason Gaming could have taken their chances to see how ROCCAT reacts to certain things, especially when it's a best of 1. That's what you gotta do. Take that into aspect, obviously, but it's like, okay, Reason, these low budget rounds that they've had are pretty much just going in for wins, and it doesn't work like that, especially not when you're meeting a team that's on a higher level. I'm not sure if they're underrating this team at this stage in the game, but they're most certainly not on point, and it comes down to these individual shots not being hit here and there, pretty much along the lines of everything. And then ROCCAT, obviously, they've utilized their nades to the absolute maximum, pushing into sites. Now, though, they haven't got the best amount of nades to work with. There's only 4 flashbangs remaining on this full team and 2 Molotovs. This might be used in the best possible way to force anyone out from a corner or whatever, but they need to play this together with these nades, because otherwise I think ROCCAT are out of this round. I mean, 5-on-5, 25 seconds almost remaining on the clock, so they're pressuring themselves up here. They're forcing themselves into a side pretty much.
Yeah, they know where to go, though. They have the 2 players in connect already. No real hurry for them. They knew they were close to the bomb site, and they had 2 players in ladder room now. KS is stepping it up with a double kill. Larsen chimed in with his own frag. Sunny and Stondi have to salvage the round. It looked quite good at the start of it. ROCCAT had a good movement from A main and 2 players from connector and from window room, but the CT's hold was a little bit too strong, especially KS with the triple.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, this is something ROCCAT could do early round as well. If they just get up through ladder room or into CPL as soon as possible, they could utilize that in an early round to fake the A side or whatever. You know, play these next level tactics, the new meta. That would be something cool to see, actually, especially against ROCCAT, especially against Reason, who seem to be falling a lot for these fakes that they utilize with the nades. Here we go. ROCCAT, they've got started with the AWP. They know what that one is down in sandwich, but KS has got the timing on point, gets that kill, and he even throws another flashbang out to make sure he can get 2 more. Is that? Not the entire way around, but Sunny, he blocks him, and that's enough to make it a 3-on-3, equalizes it back. And ROCCAT, what they need to focus on now is to pretty much just make sure that they don't die and fall down. They can't give away too many weapons, and especially not give away too much info. Larsen is in a good position to block them from getting into this B side, and look at this. He's got the exact timing as well. It looks like he's going to be coming up from behind unless they're checking this. And Xart is there with the AK-47, goes in for the straight-up kill as Larsen misses out on that shot.
Well, he had definitely not the right weapon to go for that backstab. Maybe it would have been a good idea to just stay there and get the info and then wait for them to get to the B-bomb site, then come in with the backstab instead of trying to intercept them with the AWP. Instant of disposal of Sunny. And Sard and Sisu will plant the bomb. Now they have quite okay after plan positions. Sisu and Saad make it work on each other's back, so to speak. Everyone was covering each other, and they trusted their teammate to make it 6-1. So a straightforward round by ROCCAT again, leaving the CTs with nothing but 4.5k on KS and Larsen with 3.9. Not enough money on the other players, so the two have to wait for their teammates to build some money.
I'm surprised they don't drop too many pistols either. They're actually going by the fullest of ecos, especially Instanetric and Tobacco. It's Larsen with that Deagle, and that's pretty much
We
it.
can go for a double off setup in the next round, for example.
Yeah, so that, I mean, they're playing this smart, knowing that the long-term game is going to be more important than these short-term rounds that almost mean nothing if you deal economical damage. I mean, ROCCAT has already started building their economy, and just by getting kills with these MAC 10s, for example, they earn so much money. It's incredible. 7-1 a reason. As you mentioned, might as well just go for this double. No, there's only one up actually, but yeah, I thought they would have a double up setup as well, but
It was an option.
it was an option they could have gone with. But then one of them wouldn't have had armor.
P90 for Insta. This is gonna be a crucial player. Either way, he is one of the crucial players, and Larsen will pick off Juho to open it up. Finally, a first frag for Reason. It took them quite long already. Now they have to work with that. They have to do something with it. Maybe keep KS in that position, doesn't matter too much for them, or fall back completely and let the terrorists work for their money. They can also go for some peeks into middle, which they're really giving up, just like they did already. They just don't really like middle too much, and paying a lot of respect to ROCCAT. But they know they need to win every single round in this half if they really want to have a chance. So they know the pressure is up, and KS is only able to trade one. Now Insta's time has come. He puts on the first, drops the bomb, gets traded by Stondi. Still good work with the P90. To get that one frag is okay. 2v3 coming up. Sunny and Stondi working together. They will plant the bomb quite quickly, not giving the CTs too much time to rotate. But it was just enough to be around. And they will shy away, hiding in dark and an A main.
Yeah, and I like that Stond is actually in a long-range position to go in for the for whoever actually goes in for the defuse. But still, on the left side, beneath Tetris, this is going to be risky. And I mean, if they start pushing you, you're pretty much dead. But Stondi with a 2K is going to go down eventually to Larsen, and the defuse time is enough. Or is it?
Yeah,
it
it's
is.
enough. ROCCAT, well, it's going to be
Yeah,
close,
it's
but
gonna
it
be-
is enough, definitely.
Well,
ROCCAT still turned a 2v3 into the 1v1. And that is a very costly round for the CTs. Not too much money at hand. Having
Yeah.
to scrape the back, the bottom of their pockets. So let's see what they come up with.
I like this P90 factor that they have played into the game as well, that you can utilize that in the best possible way in close range areas just to go in for these quick replies. They're really important, especially when you're meeting a team like ROCCAT who's got that utility when they push into a site. If you can go offensive with that, that's incredible. Here we go. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. Stoney's down to 4 HP. He decides to back off. And that's something that ROCCAT does as well. They always have that reply player to make sure that if anyone dies, or even if they don't die, they've got that player to go in for more kills than they expected in the beginning. So
Yeah, standard terrorist kind of tactics there. And the CTs need to make up for that loss of the player early on. So they send Insta to take a main and try to seal it off against the two terrorists that are countering him. In the meantime, the three other terrorists will make their way into middle, and they will slice through to Nectiric. The CT's not really in a position, but Insta picking up the double kill. Really important one. Drops the bomb. The terrorists have to work their way back to pick up the bomb, and Insta has the Molotov ready. Flames them off, slows them down. Well, they have still enough time to work with, but not necessarily enough HP, and the CTs can come in to help Insta out a little bit. They are in CPL and CT spawn, so they are not overextending. They're not out in the open. They let ROCCAT make a mistake, and there it goes. Juho hits the floor hard against Larsen, who gets pushed by both of them. So they went in for the instant trade. They picked up the bomb in the wake of that chaos, and they are going back for the A bomb site, which is still covered by Tobacco. They didn't expect that to be the case. Sisu has to go for it. 10 seconds on the clock, and both CTs are in perfect position. And there it is, Tobacco with the headshot. Reason is hanging on to this game.
If they wouldn't have gone towards A, then I think the B side would have been a good alternative to go with. No one was there, and obviously that's not something that they knew at that stage. But I mean, at least going for that risk would be something to go with.
Actually, taking everything into consideration, the likelihood of Tobacco being in CT spawn was very low, because they knew one player was still in A main, that was Insta, and they spotted the other player. So
yeah, you're right.
the idea to go to B would have been running into Tobacco.
Yeah.
Whereas if they go to A, they know that Insta was around A main, so they could have covered that. Didn't work out quite well enough for them.
We'll see how this goes. I mean, ROCCAT, they're far into this A side. It comes down to Reason once again. They're focusing a little bit more on these retake situations, and maybe that suits them a bit better, playing the offensive role, trying to go in for the side once again. And I mean, KS, he goes in for Sunny as they push offensively, and this is where the anti-strat comes in pretty much. ROCCAT being really offensive in the post-plant positions a lot of the time. Maybe Reason can go and profit off of that just by exploiting the fact that that's the case. KS, yeah, look at that. KS and Netric going in for frags like crazy, and Xart down in connector goes in for the one defusing. KS goes down, but the time, is it going to be enough?
Do they have a defuse kit?
Ooh.
Luckily
Last
they had a
second,
defuse kit on the diffuser. Otherwise it could have been a little hairy. 4th round on the board for Reason. Might actually be enough if they get 4 more. But the terrorists have that 7-round bonus. Now they can work out how the CTs click. They definitely adjusted, so Reason adjusted. Now it's time for ROCCAT to adjust themselves to the adjustment and get something better working.
7-4, and Reason definitely showing up to the battle here, starting to read ROCCAT a little bit more than we thought they did earlier. Here we go, and they come through towards this side. They always tend to get down on this side. It comes down to Reason just being absolutely dominant when it comes to retaking this side, or not even retaking this side, pretty much just going in for the kills on this side, even before the plan is coming down, especially in this case where they saw the pistols, and just due to the fact that they saw these pistols, they realized, okay, this is a low budget round, we can go crazy in this one. Also, that's kind of risky because that gives you don't want to be the walking ATM machine for the enemies, right? If you give them too much money, ROCCAT can base that play incredibly huge as well. So 5-7, and here we go. ROCCAT, they've got Stani on that AWP. He's not going to go in for the aggressive hopping on middle this time. He's got his mates coming up with the AKs first, and I like this because he wants to make sure they had the info before going in for long-range peeks. This time around, though, they turn it around. They go in for the 2 first entries, and even if they do, they go into this B side of the map where Tobacco is with the M4A1S, going to be spotting out XR with only 9 HP, thinking, okay, since that's an assist and since he was already low, that might have been the fake. If that is the case, then, if they fall for that, I don't know what they do. They don't, though, however, and look at that. 3 people on this B side. If ROCCAT could turn quickly towards A now, or even fake the A side by Juho, who's in middle, that would be incredible. But they don't utilize that one-player position, and it might pay off clean, actually, that they don't, because if they come up towards short now, if we have Juho going up short now, they might think it's a double fake, at least Reason does. But, yeah, that's a little bit...
The plan seems to be that Juho intercepts the CTs on a possible rotation through B short.
Yeah, that's...
And now that the terrorists weren't spotted around the map for quite long, Reason Gaming thinks that they might just fake going for
double
A
fake
by not moving at B, but they actually are still at B. And sadly for Reason Gaming, that's the wrong guess to make. The terrorists will enter the A bomb site without any resistance by Reason.
Yeah, there's nothing really holding them back. And at this stage in the game, you want to make sure that you at least have one player on the A side to get that info and back off and rely on the fact that you can retake this with your mates. Insta goes in for 1, though. Sizu falls down. 2-on-3 situation. And at this stage in the game, it's all on it. Reason has to go in for this round pretty much, unless... Yeah, Tobacco, he's left alone here. There's not much that you can do. But if they went in for that round together, not going 1-by-1 through CT, then possibly this could have been a round that they took home. What I don't like about this when you're retaking a site, especially from Reason's side, especially in a round like that as well, is that, okay, sure, we know that they're on this site somewhere, but if you push 1-by-1 from the same position, it's going to be so obvious for the enemies to spot you out and get these kills. Try to come up from different positions. They have the time to as well. Especially coming from me, they could have come from jungle, even connection. Connector.
They were panicking, I think, and a little bit too much in a hurry. Especially with KS pushing in straight away without any support of his teammates. He just wanted to keep them from getting after plan positions. And you know, it's the right idea, but only if it works out. If it doesn't work out, you always look like an idiot after that.
We'll see here, ROCCAT. I mean, they're playing this slow. They're still going with respect. And, I mean, they lost that respect for a while. Now they're getting it back just to make sure that, okay, we don't want to lose more. It doesn't matter. You give a Reason this one momentum that they need to go wild now. Tobacco goes in for the first entry. Now they know that this is the B side. Reason Gaming, let's just hope they don't do the same mistake going one by one. It looks like they are, though. And that trick has got to be going down due to that matter. And no one is there to take the reply. And that's what we've been talking about for I don't know how long. Reason really has to play this more together. The rest of the team goes in with a straight up save. Having that op and mag 7, you can profit a lot of money from getting kills with the mag 7, and obviously going with the AWP is a smart decision if you want to go in for long range kills in the next upcoming round.
Yeah, and the next one is going to be the last one of the half.
So
they will not have too much money, so it's going to be pistols and maybe armor for the majority of their players. So Larsen is going to be the linchpin of Reason Gaming's defense, and he really has to step it up a little more as the designated AWP player on the CT side of Mirage. I personally expect more than just his 7 frags.
yeah, definitely. You know, and we talked about it before this game even started, that Larsen, he's been a good asset for this team, playing that offensive kind of op role. I feel like he's backing off a little bit from that now, seeing as ROCCAT being, they're being a bit superior when it comes to pushing into sites and whatnot. So if he just went a little bit more confident, tries to go in for a couple of kills, maybe down on slope even, you know, these positions that you wouldn't expect him to be on, he'd get a couple of frags and that would be good entries. Here you go, Netric goes in for 1, Sunny falls down. It's a back-to-back play and it's a 2-on-4 situation, but there's nothing that you can do but try to go in for this round since it's the last round of the first half. And yeah, it just falls apart for them.
Shut down by ROCCAT. 10 rounds on the terrorist side. I don't know if they can really recover. They definitely need the pistol round for Reason.
Yeah.
If we want to get a close game. If ROCCAT wins the pistol, they can just start running away with the scoreline, and I don't know if Reason have that fight in them anymore.
Well, I mean, they got that momentum in the last couple of rounds. You know, they got 4 in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Then
was
at the
the,
same time,
you
yeah.
know,
One thing that I in particular noted on the CT side for a Reason was that they were better on the retakes, and I think that just proves how good they can be playing offensive. Seeing the T side, I mean, you've got to be offensive to win, right?
Yeah.
So if they could just utilize their nades the way they did on the CT side in the post-plant positions,
yeah.
you know, we never know what we can see. Definitely not. Then again, we haven't seen ROCCAT playing the CT side of Mirage. Or yeah, we have maybe.
No, ROCCAT.
No. Okay, yeah, so no, it was Reason that we saw actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. So ROCCAT, we haven't seen them yet. We can't expect anything really. We'll see how it goes, and from the first round, we'll make a prediction, I guess. You wanna?
Yeah. I think, that, as I said, the pistol round is gonna play a huge role.
Yeah.
And ROCCAT is focused on an A retake play. They have 2 players at B, 1 in middle, and 2 at A. With the terrorists, at least at first, focused on B. They want to try and shift the CTs over a little bit.
XR tries to go in for the first information there, but as he's widened out, there's not much they can do. In Reason, they go in for the first kill. XR falls down. They spot the other man out. That's Saisu, who's already boosted out on the B side. Look at that 2-on-4 situation, and there's not much that you can focus on here except from the fact that you need to go in for quite a good amount of kills if you want to retake this side. And at this stage in the game, ROCCAT, all they can base their play off is their mate, and Sunny's left alone here as Juho falls down as well. And yeah, Reason, they've got this under control after spotting the 1 man out, but Sunny goes in for 1, goes in for the second one as well, and they're going to be disrespectful going in for that knife. Karma is a boo. You know what I'm saying? Sunny goes in for the knife in the end, and 2-on-1 situation. Yeah, he can go in for the save with the armor as well. He's playing the CT side, so using that to his advantage as well is quite good.
That kind of backfired. They went in for the knife because they realized he will run out of bullets.
He still earned a lot of money on that.
They got the kill, and they wanted to get the money. They knew he is going to run out of bullets. Let's push him with the knife before he actually does run out of bullets. So he will run out of bullets while I'm pushing him with the knife. Hats up play though by Sunny to get his own karambit out and get the frag. So that allows him to get a FAMAS in his hands. The terrorists realize that and buy 4 AKs already. So they don't want to risk anything at all. They know the comeback is on. They need to win those 2 next rounds at least. And that's the focus for now. No regards of economy whatsoever. They just need rounds, nothing else.
We'll see how this continues. Sunny and the gang, I mean, they're trying to go in for these kills here and there. They're trying to go in for the info as well, and I like this. I mean, ROCCAT, they're working it out good together, looking at what they've got as well. This is something you can base a play off. Then again, Reason Gaming, they haven't utilized too many of their nades yet, and that might be the downside of this round, actually, that ROCCAT aren't really provoking them to do so either. If they were provoking them, then maybe there would have been an advantage for them to see Reason without any nades in the end, but I'm not seeing it coming. ROCCAT are playing this really, really passive, and there's not provocative play going on around this map, at least not from the CT side. It would be from the T side, obviously, but as they get towards B, there's no utility for ROCCAT to use either way. And with that being said, it's all based on getting a couple of frags here with the pistols, I feel like.
Yeah, let's see. Maybe they can do some kind of damage. If they find that early frags or dispose of the bomb planted, they might still have an opening in this round. But the Reason players are handling it quite well with the push into CT spawn. They also dispose of Stondi straight away. Caesar goes down and Saad hits the floor as well. Reason have that important round in the back, and ROCCAT, due to the forced buy, obviously are naked in this one. They will be back on rifles. But they might, well, depending on what Stondi does with his amount of money. I think he might go for the full save just to be able to afford an AWP.
Well, would be a preferable alternative, especially seeing him with that AWP. I mean, he's been a key role for ROCCAT playing the T side. Should be able to do more on the CT side, seeing it's as you can play that passively as well. But in this round, we're just seeing that full eco, and I really like that they're going by this. I mean, Reason. ROCCAT's still in the lead, and they can experiment with these rounds, and I think that's exactly what they're doing, stacking up on this B side, seeing how they react to these certain things. And this is where Reason, if they do react to these certain things, they're going to be outread in the next upcoming few rounds. ROCCAT, we'll see how this goes for them. I mean, if they get a couple of frags here and there, then that's good. I mean, they'll deal economical damage, obviously, and they'll probably block KS and Tobacco from earning a lot of money with these SMGs as well. That would be the best case scenario, but we'll see about this. It's a slow-paced game, and I feel like Reason, they're playing it slow just to see if this actually is an eco or not, because they're not quite sure yet, seeing as, okay, we've heard a couple of shots here and there. Let's not base our play off of this being an eco. Here we go. And as they spot the pistols out, they're going to realize that, okay, it's a B stack. Let's make a lot of money out of this. And they let the SMGs go in for 3 kills themselves. Insta with the plant going in for it. And I'm not sure if they realize that Sizu is on short. They do spot the man out eventually, though. And this is where he's just going to be crossfired back to hell. Insta
Indeed.
with the kill.
So Reason win the mandatory rounds. Now it's crunch time. They have to find out if the CTs play the same way in the rifle rounds. Obviously, ROCCAT didn't give them too much to work with. The stacks and the farmers play before kind of changed the whole setup of the CTs. Now we have the AWP for Stondi, and he has to have some impact like he did in the previous games. He's burned down quite quickly. 35 only remain for him. And Reason Gaming is back to the Rush B, no stop, that we had earlier in their first matchup. This time around, they are taking it a little slower, so they are a little more scared of ROCCAT than they were in their first matchup. Saad will not find that kill onto Tobacco. Everyone is pushing through. Stondi and Sizo rack up 2 kills. 4v3, 4v1, and suddenly it's only Insta standing for the Reason squad. And he's separated from the bomb. The CTs already have the pin down. He fails the nade, has to work up into the 1v3 with everyone ready to counter his moves as soon as they know what he's up to. They even have the double line. Sunny and Juho were kind of, old school, like in the 18th century, when one row of the riflers were kneeling and the other ones were standing upside behind them, so they have double the firepower.
Well, this is where also maybe going in for a plant, would be an alternative to go with. I mean, at least you get that plant for the team. It's good for the money situation, obviously. So, reasoning about, you see what I did there? Reasoning now, but reasoning about whether it's more valuable to go in for a couple of kills than try to win the round in a 1-on-3 situation. I feel it's more logical to win a lot of money for the team as well and score that.
The other question is, would he be able to get the plant? Because one of them would have probably pushed him. to avoid that.
Yeah, but I mean, he still had a flashbang.
It's always that double mind game that he can play, and yeah, let's see if ROCCAT can win this one. They still have the equipment, they still have everything they want to have.
And these smokes coming into this A side are going to be blocking them off quite big here. It's Sunny who's in the close range position to get these kills. And Juho, I mean, he plays that good from CT, goes in for the first kill on Netric, and look at that, they get a 2-man advantage as Sunny goes in for another one, and I think that's across the map even. Juho will be trying to support. No, Sunny's actually beneath. Across the side it was even. And I mean, yeah, just demolishing them, not allowed even to get in. And you're looking at the stats. It's Larson down to 7 kills. We said that he was a good asset for this team, and I'm gonna take it back for this game. Really, I mean,
sometimes those young guns, you know, they can be inconsistent. You have to take that into consideration as well.
The routines.
And everyone had a rough time in the first half on the CT side, and he didn't really have the chance to get too many frags yet on the terrorist side.
Definitely not. Here we go, Stana falling down quickly. But here you see Sunny again. He's going in for these replies as soon as he can, and I mean, he's playing that really, really good for being a close range position. I mean, he's really adapting to the playstyle he has to, especially with an AK-47 meeting these pistols just coming right at him. 3-on-2 situation, and I mean, this is a good round coming up by Reason Gaming. They haven't got much to work with, and not even armor on KS, so they profit well off of this round, getting 2 kills and a plant. And then we'll see what they'll do with the money in the next upcoming round. If we take a look at the stats, I mean, this could be one of those rounds where an AWP could be dropped for Larson, and we talked about Larson being really good aggressive opping. So seeing the T side, I mean, middle would be an alternative, even A side. I mean, if you go up towards Palace, that's a good position to play that op as well if you want to go in for a quick entry.
Let's see, or just another B rush, no stop. We will find out in a second. Stundy definitely has his big green back, and he's taken position at the A bomb side. ROCCAT with the aggressive push on middle, just trying to find out some more information, and Larson failed on the first pick. The CTs get away with their skin unharmed, and the terrorists need to find out how to handle that situation now.
This is pretty much just getting to textbook reading. I feel like ROCCAT are getting an idea of how they play on this T side, and I mean, that one eco round where we had a stack, I think that's what's opening up for them right now. ROCCAT are getting an idea of how they're getting into the side, but Reason, they get these kills here and there. Reason, and this is where ROCCAT are having problems. I mean, Juho and Sisu falls down, Standi and Sunny left alone here. They still want to go in for this round though, and I feel like Larson heard Sunny be around the smoke, so should be able to get this kill. Misses out on that shot as well, and Sunny goes in for the kill. It's a back-to-back fire. Netric goes in for the good reply, and that's exactly what they needed. Stani with AWP obviously going in for the save, and I mean, he earns money off of that playing the CT side either way, so exploiting that to the maximum would be something you wanna point out as well. Netric and the gang, they haven't got the best amount of money either, but they're playing the T side, so it's a bit cheaper as well.
Yeah, and they will receive quite a lot from that win. I don't know, yeah, ROCCAT will have enough money, so we will see if Reason can string those rounds together and make them save in the next one. Definitely on the brink of saving now for ROCCAT. They know how important this one is, and they switch it up for double AWP setup. I think one of them is trying to seal off B. They know Reason really likes the site. They probably watched the previous game, or at least they should have been watching it. So let's see what ROCCAT is up to on their CT side.
And that Molotov flaming through inside a connector is just going to give them more info of where they're at. I mean, these small nades coming up across the map, I mean, it gives an idea for ROCCAT of how they want to play. Then again, it doesn't work because Reason Gaming are so quick with exposing themselves with these nades on the other part of the map, so these fakes doesn't really work. They don't focus on middle too much because of the fact that, okay, we've only got that one player there. If there's anything going on this A side, he's got a quick rotation through jungle, but he even backs off to CT, and he's got the time to do so.
Yeah, and Reason is kind of stuck in front of A. The CTs with a full rotation, having 4 players over there. It shouldn't be possible for the terrorists to get out there anymore. While Insta is traded by an nade, Juho hops up to the crate. That exposes him quite immense. even though it doesn't really hurt the CTs too much. ROCCAT will get it done and make it 14-9, so they avoid saving themselves and they force the terrorists into a very uncomfortable position.
And here we go. I mean, Reason, they're going by. I mean, they're not going to go for the tie, really. They just want to go in for the full set win. And this is one of those riskier rounds as well where, okay, if you're playing with the Tech 9s, at least make them go first before that AK-47 so you have a good reply coming up.
Yeah.
And don't stack up too much either, because that's just going to pay off clean for ROCCAT. And we'll see how this goes. I mean, we're probably going to see XR probably with 1 kill. Yeah, exactly. Goes in for a second peek as well. Misses out on that shot as he's all blanked out. Why? They will be going in for the kill eventually. And close range battle is definitely what they're looking for here. Reason, they know exactly how they want to play this. 3-on-2 situation, though, and still, Reason hasn't got the bomb planted. ROCCAT can base their play off of the fact that the bomb is stuck either on the site or... Yeah, and since it's not planted, it's going to be mostly obvious that it's on Sofa as they get that kill as well. Netric is going to be falling down. The bomb is dropped. Juho with another one. Tobacco falls down, and they just block them from even getting that plant. Sure, they get out on the side. Doesn't really matter. It's a B side. If we surround them, there's not a chance in the world they're going to be able to get that plant.
Yeah, well done by ROCCAT with the early rotation. And it seems like Reason doesn't really have too many different strategies on Mirage. They went for the B bomb site time and time again, just like they did in the first matchup. Even though it worked in the first one, if you meet better and stronger people, you can't out-frag them in the side. So you have to work around that. And if you hit a brick wall, it's gonna be hard for you to actually change your game. Yeah, Reason with the Deagles in this possibly last round of this game, and it looks very promising for the CTs. ROCCAT shutting them down again. Tobacco received 99 damage. Insta is the last hope now. He is in the B apartments, puts down Sard, making it a 2v1. And if he knew that the CTs were so far away, he could have planted a bomb already, but he doesn't know. And that gives the CTs the chance to get into that crossfire setup. Juho on B short, Sunny in the kitchen. Insta has to get basically 2 frags at the same time or find himself some more room to work with. And he's trying to single them out. Now he doesn't know where they are, but they know that he is still inside.
Yeah, he's going to be stuck here until he actually makes that next move. And there you have it. Sunny goes in for the kill. And, you know, quick before we even go into the analyst desk, I feel like we were talking about ROCCAT choosing Mirage even before the game. Or not choosing, but, you know, not banning Mirage. And overall, I feel like, okay, maybe this is because they got a good idea of how Reason wants to play on Mirage. Not mattering really which side.
Yeah.
So, that being said, I mean, ROCCAT, it looks like it's one of the teams to actually analyze how their enemies play before facing them. I hope we can see more of this play come up in the future of this tournament, pretty much.
Yeah, we will see if our analysts agree with you in a few moments.
Thank you so much for that. What do you say, guys?
I'll let you take it away. Start.
I don't know. It was quite a domination match from ROCCAT. When they had to play as T, it seems like actually Reason had their chance to do the comeback. They lost that important round. I think that they were with AVPs and stuff, but they ended up losing. And from then on, it was just ROCCAT again. Joe had a great match also.
Yeah, Juho.
Yeah.
Yeah, really had, and I think Volty was into something there. I mean, that might have been a choice why they didn't veto or didn't ban Mirage. As we can see, the next game, we're not gonna leave this one, but it's also gonna be Mirage. And I mean,
it's gonna be Mirage.
yeah, but
Oh,
I mean, Torpedo, Torpedo won 14-1 on the T side,
Yeah.
right? So they feel like, okay, Mirage is our map, no doubt about that. No problem, also play Mirage and won on Mirage. So they
Yeah.
also feel confident on Mirage. And that's why I think we have this Mirage, I think it was Volty who said that it's ESL Mirage finals, not the
Yeah.
ESL
Oh, yeah.
Nordic finals. So, but anyway, back to the game. It kind of felt like they were getting back into it, and then all of a sudden they just put in that last gear and just ran over them at the end. Do you agree, or what do you think?
I think it's kind of the same as in the no problem game, where it's like the scoreline is, I mean, okay, I think it was 16-9.
Yep.
It's not that close on the scoreline, but I still feel like ROCCAT could never lose this game.
Yeah.
But I've
But even though what was this point? I believe it was 8-10 they can get,
yeah.
and then they lost the round, put 8-11. They have to do an
Yeah, that was
eco
the-
afterwards,
Yeah.
and they end up losing the whole thing because they lost control of the economy, and yeah, ROCCAT just kept on winning.
Yeah, I mean, I've been writing notes. It's really cool. But I noticed that. I mean, ROCCAT is not really a team we see so much play like online,
No.
and I think it's because they might have just like gone in and just practiced. I think that's why they're doing such a phenomenal job. They've got a lot of new smokes, new molotovs, new strats that I really have never seen before.
Really?
Yeah, and it's
Ah.
very interesting. On the pistol round, I noticed that they were doing an A fake with a smoke setup where they actually bought armor everyone, I believe, and then two of them bought a decoy and threw the decoy like it was a smoke.
Oh my god,
So
yeah,
they
cool.
faked Reason, then they went to B and
Yep.
faked the B side, and then went back to A and won the pistol round. Next round, Reason force buy. They get into a
Yeah.
2 versus 5 situation. Like they are 5, Reason are 5, and they lose it with
Really?
both of the ROCCAT players staying alive. And you know that's one of the pivotal points where
It was the knife kill on the first round, and
Yeah.
then he kind of bowed the FAMAS and forced the other team to.
that was on the second half.
No, in the first half, I believe.
No, it was
No?
when
Yeah.
it was when they were
Okay.
CT. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's just, I mean, it's like one of the pivotal rounds. If they win that Reason and they get better economy, they kind of get the momentum in their favor. And I think that would have changed the outcome massively. But one thing we also talked about here was
it
Larsen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you want to comment on that, Mark. We can.
First
Supply.
off, you know, we were talking about him prior to both of their games and saying that he has to step up, he has to be their like main man today. And then you mentioned that this is his first offline event, or one of his first offline events at least.
Yeah, on
Abroad,
ACLTV,
I guess.
Yeah, on ACLTV I couldn't find any stats
Yeah.
from lands, and since I don't know the guy personally, I don't really know if he's been to many lands, but it's the first one here, and he's only 17 years old, I
Yeah.
believe. So he's very young, and obviously, you know, take a guy like Magisk, who is the
Yeah.
same age, and also
The
is
fact
one of the
that
up-and-coming
when
players.
when you are on the AWP, you have to be really patient, and we saw that he wasn't that much patient, and he missed a lot of shots.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just probably a sensitivity thing that when you press and the mice itself it moves, or just he
Yeah.
was nervous about it probably.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But it feels like aggressive off player as he is, Larsen, and it's like a player like Delpan. I mean, if you miss your first shots, if you're aggressive off player and you miss your first shots, and you know your confidence goes down, you
Yeah,
have to
exactly.
keep doing exactly the same thing and not
Yeah.
don't regard what just happened. Keep doing your thing. And as you said, choke is maybe a little hard on him, but we saw him miss quite a few shots actually, and
A lot of crucial, and
Yeah.
also a lot of easy shots. I've
Yeah.
written that on the 4th round, he misses a crucial shot.
mm,
It
Reason
was
then
in
goes
B
on to
side
save.
when the smoke disappeared and he tried to shot.
Yeah.
And he missed it after all.
Yeah. I mean, one more thing is like ROCCAT just reading the play really well. They were up 7-0 or 6-0 or something like that. Then they get around on the board, and Reason, the loser bonus gets reset. So ROCCAT just decide to go with 3 Mech 10s to get extra money. And that's
Yeah.
just a good reading that Reason will not be forcing up. So I think that's very interesting. I mean, ROCCAT, like individually, were very, very well sound, but also strategically, I think they're the best team at this event.
really.
Yes, definitely.
Well, there we heard it. Strong words from us here at the analysis desk. But we're going to come back to you guys with our next game. It's actually going to be about No Problem versus Torpedo. That's a game I really look forward to. Sweden versus Denmark. And seeing it as the last game, Torpedo won 14-1 on Mirage T side. We're going to see Mirage once again. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.